months. It looked like it was mud. I don't know what it was. It was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane. It was down awfully low.
You're listening to Pursuit of the Paranormal podcast with your hosts, Ash Ellis and Greg Tomlinson.
Hey Ash, how are you doing?
Very well, Greg. It's back to just being us two tonight for the first time in a while.
For a long time. It feels like it hasn't just been us two for ages. And I mean, we started talking about 40 minutes ago. We've just been chatting away, catching up. So how are things with you?
Good. Busy month coming up, I think, for both of us.
Spooky month?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the
Yeah.
paranormal field this
Yeah.
next couple of months or so.
Yeah, and I think that's true across a lot of teams at the moment. There's a lot of teams doing their thing, and not taking a break, but doing other stuff, because it is spooky season. There's a lot of paranormal conferences on at the moment, and I know me and you have been booked at various different conferences, and we're at Parachat on November the 8th.
Yep, in Hull.
Up in Hull. I think there's 20 tickets left and that's it. So they're free as well, guys. So if anybody's listening that is interested in coming to hear me and Ash speak, and also the girls are there. Who else is there? PSI, I think they're talking. They're actually organising it anyway. I think Paranormal Inc. are talking. So there's quite a few different named people and friends of ours that are talking. So that'd be really good.
Yeah, cool. Looking forward to it.
I've got a talk as Boo, me and Sarah are talking at Priest Cottage for their little paranormal conference, Spooks and Spirits, I think it's called, on the 29th of November. I was at Festival of the Unexplained talking poltergeist the other day. It's about a week or so, 2 weeks ago now. Can't believe how long ago that was. So we're all over the place. Lost Souls this weekend. Me and Sarah will be there. The Paranormal United States book, signed copies, will be available to buy on our stand. So come and see us if you listen to this and you go in. Come and see us, and we will be flogging you stuff, so bear that in mind.
Yeah, should be a good weekend.
Yeah, lots of good names there on Saturday. A lot of big names as well, so should be good. And also I said to somebody I met at Festival of the Unexplained, Jonathan Richardson, I said I would give a little plug to a Halloween weekend festival that's going on, and it is the Kindred Samain Paranormal and Spiritual Festival. I'm not entirely sure where it is. It is in the UK. Oh, so Walworth Castle, wherever that is. Are you able to? I don't know if I can Google that.
What's it called? Walworth.
Walworth. Walworth.
Darlington. So that's the northeast, isn't it?
Of course, it's up north. Darlington. So yes, head over to their Facebook page. 11 hours of celebrity and guest speakers, including Jay Austen, Richard Felix from Most Haunted fame, Barry John, Andy Guy. Interestingly, Andy Guy would like to come on the podcast, so I said we'll grab him on.
Cool.
At some point. He is really cool. I was chatting to him at festival.
Yeah, I got some of his equipment that I use.
So have I. Considering what me and Sarah do, we actually won a Skyer Magnavox in the raffle. So big shout out to Andy Guy for that.
Nice.
So it was also good, and I must say, he is a nice guy, really nice guy. And I saw him speak at Paracon last year, caught his talk this year, And considering that me and Sarah make paranormal equipment, not to the same kind of thing that he does, but he actually came over and said if we ever needed help with coding, programming, any help with the equipment, he'd be more than happy to help us. So
Nice one.
that's big props to essentially a competitor. I know we're not a competition to him because everybody's got his stuff. I know, but the fact that he did that and wants to come on the podcast, he likes the podcast. He's been listening to episodes of our podcast as well. So big
Awesome.
shout out to Andy Guy, Skyer Paranormal Technology. Check him out. He does do some wonderful stuff, and I know you've got a load of his equipment that
Yep.
we've used. And if equipment's good, we'll use it regardless of who makes it. So big shout out.
Yeah, nice one.
But as ever, beyond our ordinary, that's the ones you want to go for. And I'll tell you what, very quickly before we get into stuff. Sorry, I feel like I'm just dumping. It's wee nice little keyring there. I was giving those out at festival. Everybody got one at festival. Sorry, it's my ADHD brain just offloading stuff because I haven't seen you for ages and I haven't properly spoke to you for ages. That we were on the investigation on the Thursday night of Festival of the Unexplained.
Mm.
Me and Sarah sat there. We had the Bucor, and as you know, we've had good results for the Bucor. The Words Bank coming out with some good stuff.
Yep.
Um, it came out with names, and within 3 words, 3 names, it come out with the first name was Karen. Then 2 words later was Monk,
Wow.
Sarah's mum and Emma's mum.
Mm.
And for those that you know the girls, that's the name of their mum that passed earlier in the year. So,
Wow.
and as me and Sarah were saying, to somebody else, those words wouldn't have meant anything. And you could have gone Monk, Karen, and all the other words. But because it's relevant, it's like we've always said, it's a UFO stuff as well. It's a personal experience. People have this very personal experience, and to other people that wouldn't have made any sense. But to Sarah, and obviously me to a lesser extent, it did. So that was super weird.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sorry, that wasn't a festival. That was the other night at the flower shop. That was the other night at the flower shop.
Oh,
Sorry,
right.
ignore that. Yeah, we had a load of words at festival, but Karen and Monk came through on Saturday night when we went to the flower shop. So that's super weird, super weird. And yeah, we've upgraded the Bucor as well. So you'll see the next version. We've got a slightly different way of triggering and other bits and pieces on there that I'm working on as well. So yeah.
Nice, nice,
So
nice.
yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up that we've had some amazing stuff off that Bucor, and I forgot to mention that to you about the words that have been coming through. So yeah. Anyway, so
Perfect.
that's my ADHD brain dump to you, Ash. So
Always welcome.
so it's only going to be a fairly short one tonight, just while we catch up and get back into the swing of things during this busy month. We've had it's probably a good time to talk about Steve's podcast going out on the networks. We
Yes.
haven't really mentioned that yet, so I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, so we launched um basically the Pursuit of Paranormal Podcast Network,
Mhm.
giving people the opportunity to launch their own podcast onto our stream effectively. Giving them like a ready-made audience, obviously in our sort of expertise and help with launching a podcast because it can be a hard thing launching a podcast if you don't know what you're doing, trying to build that initial audience. A lot of people do think it's 7 episodes the average podcast lasts for because people
Yep.
don't understand the work that goes into it.
Yep.
We thought we'd basically give people that platform and to help people just get started in their podcast journeys, all free of charge. It's just we'll help them do it all.
Yep.
So Steve, Yarwood, who is part of the UFO Identified group that I work with, He launched his podcast a couple of months ago called The Unconventional Ufologist, which has been his kind of YouTube. He used to make YouTube videos, like animated ones, that were really, really good, like sort of animated videos of famous UFO cases. But it never got the traction it deserved. There was such good animations, but it just never got the sort of the marketing part of it right. So he launched his podcast a few months ago on our network, which is so every other Sunday, there's going to be a new episode of The Unconventional Ufologist. The most recent episode was Sunday Gone, where he talks about the Valiant 4 legend, a deep dive into that. And then on the 19th of October, there'll be the next episode where he talks about Majestic 12. Was it real
Oh,
or was it not? So that's a really, I listened to the episodes. That's a really interesting episode. And Steve has over 40 years experience in researching the UFO stuff. So he knows what he's talking about. And the way he talks is just entertaining. And he
mm.
also puts his own humour into the episodes. So yes, make sure you check out Young Conventional Ufologist on our network. And if you've got your own podcast, maybe you got or ideas to start a podcast, they're having talks with another person to launch their first podcast. Always looking for people to link up with, and we can help you get your podcast on our network. So just hit us up on social media to get your own journey started.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so drop us a message and we will get back to you on that. Um, it is a good opportunity to test out a podcast if you want to do it for a few episodes. And if it's something that's not your bag, then that's cool. And it just drops off. But it's a good opportunity to get it out there without any real commitment from yourselves, really. So
Yeah.
which
'Cause
is
it is
cool.
very, like I say, it is very daunting, and there's so much that goes into it, and we can just help with all of it
Mm,
effectively. And also, sort of the same sort of media arm is book publishing. You always wanted to write a book, don't know where to start. We can help you get your book published. Again, all free of charge. We've written 2 books between us, and we've both got a book in progress
yeah.
that we're writing. Um, so yeah, that side of things we can help with that. Again, it's all free of charge. So reach out and we can help you get your podcast or book publishing dreams on on the go.
Yeah. And we do all the artwork as well, so we can help with the
Yes.
artwork.
Yeah.
I can't believe that book is out there still. Um, and also, did you see Michaela's post today?
Or the front cover
The
of
front cover of Paranormality
that.
magazine.
That's behind my head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, I recognize that episode or that edition.
That issue.
And I said to him at work, I was like, oh, check this out. I said, look, me and Ash were on that. That was our episode. Like that was our. We had a 6-page spread in there.
Our front page feature.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. And that was, we got nominated for the award through that as well. So yeah, available for talks anywhere around the world. Um, so yeah, we'll be happy to speak.
Yeah.
So, in all seriousness now, though, loads has happened, but I thought a good one for us to just sort of like sweep back in for this sort of mini episode would be the clip that we recently put up on TikTok. I don't know if I put it up on Facebook, about the missile that bounces off a mysterious object.
Yes.
So first of all, I ask your thoughts on the video before we discuss the rest of it. But
So I hadn't really seen the video
no,
until about 30 minutes ago when he sent me it. So I've not been in. I've been out of the loop totally
yeah,
with all this recent UFO stuff. Other stuff took priority. Um, so I watched the video. It's allegedly like a mysterious orb that's being
mm.
followed on a FLIR camera from some sort of satellite orb
It's actually from a Reaper drone,
from oh, so it's from
and
a
it was
drone.
it was a Reaper drone looking down and tracking this object, and it's then targeted by a Hellfire missile that's been fired from another Reaper drone.
Right. Okay.
The missiles are usually air to surface missiles. They're normally fired from the drone down to a target on the ground, not normally air to air.
Right. Okay.
Just to clarify, that is about as much as my understanding goes on technology.
So this was apparently off the coast of Yemen.
Yeah,
What are they doing? Why are they firing missiles near
the
Yemen?
I think are the Houthi rebels and stuff like that operating in the Yemen and around there. That's the Middle East, isn't it? Sort of. Is that it's the Yemen, Middle East?
Yeah, not round about there.
Is it?
It's where
Uh,
Chandler went in Friends, isn't it? One Yemen Road, Yemen.
what is it? Yemen. It is. Yeah, it's the Gulf of Aden, just below Saudi Arabia. So it's Middle East.
Off the coast of Africa.
Yeah, it's a country in West Asia. Southern Arabia, bordering Saudi Arabia to northern Oman to the northeast, southeastern part of the Arabian Sea to the east, and the Gulf of Aden to the south, Red Sea to the west. So it's the Middle East. It shares maritime borders with Eritrea, Somalia, and the Horn of Africa. I believe the Houthi rebels are operating out there. I may have just made that up, and I apologise if I did. So it is an active area where I think there is ongoing
Right, okay.
military programs. Again, that's the only reason why you'd have a Reaper drone or two Reaper drones for reconnaissance around there.
Right, okay.
Um, so the video shows it being locked on as a target. It's shown white hot. And as I've been learning through my podcast listening and also my viewing habits, that with the white hot you will see in infrared. So FLIR stands for front looking infrared.
Get you?
FLIR. I used to work for a radar company, and their main competitor was called FLIR as well. So, and interestingly, just a very quick tangent. Area 51, when you come up the driveway of Area 51 off the main road in Nevada, go past the letterbox and go off the beaten track for a fucking long way. I must say, it's about a 20-minute drive, and you think you're lost, then all of a sudden you see the camo dudes in the distance. When you're on the sign where it says no drones and what was lethal forces authorized, that bit
Mm.
there is an invisible line that you step over and they'll arrest you type thing. In the background is a mobile FLIR radar unit with FLIR cameras. Just and if anybody's probably on my social media somewhere, I've got the picture of me standing there. It's FLIR behind, and I went there whilst I was at the radar company, so I could tell. And I took it back and said to the guys, "What's this?" And they're like, "That's a FLIR radar, it's a FLIR camera." So it's
Nice,
interesting.
nice.
So white hot, you can see the object as white hot. It looks like a tic tac shape, for want of a better phrase. And I know tic tacs are all the rage for the last 20 years. But as we discussed offline, the white hot doesn't necessarily mean that that's the whole object. That's just the object that's heated up enough that the camera sees it as white. So there might be other little bits to it, but ultimately that's the shape. But so it's white
Yeah.
hot. So there is some kind of heat internal. And the reason we know that it's white hot because the missile fires at it and that's white. And
Yeah.
obviously missiles have got a propulsion system. It doesn't appear to have a propulsion system of any kind. It's just an object moving. And the parallax camera view doesn't give the full speed. I believe the speed of it was quite a small speed. It wasn't, it was sort of trundling along really.
Because the video, like with like the gimbal videos, stuff like that, it looks like they're moving fast.
Uh-huh.
But they're not. It's just the parallax effect of the ground and the drone that's
Hmm.
moving, not the actual
Yeah.
object. So it gives you a false sense of what you're actually
Hmm.
looking at. It's hard. You're looking at it like we don't know the full shape of it. It looks completely different to how it would look in a
Hmm.
normal camera.
Yeah.
So like it looks a lot more striking on like this infrared flare than it probably does in real terms. And like with um like so you see the missile hit it and it sort of breaks into a few smaller pieces. And the camera seems to follow a couple of small pieces that seem to be now moving on their own.
Hmm.
It's like they come apart, broken apart, but they're still moving on their own
With
accord,
it,
like
yeah.
a much smaller piece. But again, that could be moving super slowly. It could just be literally, it could be debris just floating or whatever.
Mm.
But because the way the parallax effect is showing it, it looks like it's still moving fast and like sort of flying, but it might
Yeah,
not be.
exactly that. And that is the downside to these kind of videos because you never really know what what you're watching unless you are massively sort of into like infrared
Mm.
footage. And the kind of people that are the people that fly the drones. They use these systems on a daily basis. I'm just trying to get a bit more information on that. So, footage shows an MQ-9 Reaper drone tracking the object before a second drone fires a Hellfire missile, sending fragments tumbling around it, like you said. The video was presented at a session of the Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets, which investigates the release of government materials in the public interest. Republican Congressman Eric Burleson of Missouri said the footage, which was recorded on the 30th of October last year, came from a whistleblower and is now undergoing independent review. And that was shortly beforehand. It was used in the Restoring Public Trust through UAP Transparency and Whistleblower Protection hearing, the congressional hearing, which we'll cover off a slightly different time because that's a big beast.
Um, yeah, it's mad because like we know Americans are quite trigger happy. But you'd think that to be firing a missile at something, one, they must have some idea of what it is to be firing a missile at it. To actually whoever gives that order to fire like something that's in the sky above a different country.
Who gave the order? Because that's an important, I think that's probably the most important bit is who had oversight to say, let's fire a non-traditional, an air to surface missile. Let's fire it at an air target. So the missile isn't designed specifically for that use.
Mm.
And like you mentioned, over essentially an active foreign nation. And that could go spectacularly pear-shaped in the best of times.
Yeah, I mean, I can. Do you know of what kind of the reaction's been to it at all from different
So
people?
Mick West has said, published a frame by frame critique, arguing the imagery doesn't support a direct hit claim. Now, when you look at it, it looks like it almost bounces off. It's sort of almost like it's a direct hit. It's a good shot, to be fair, but it almost bounces off. And
Yeah, 'cause it
on,
doesn't destroy it. It like sort of one bigger piece remains and a couple of smaller.
hmm,
Like I mentioned, not like it's full on blew it up or anything
yeah,
like that.
so it's not a balloon. It can't be a balloon because obviously they've had some spy balloons over the US, allegedly, that they shot down. So if you hit a balloon, it would literally go straight through the thing, I would have thought, and just
Mm.
popped it. You would think. So it appears there is some material that will take a Hellfire missile full on and essentially bounce it off. And I believe Mick Wester said that it doesn't support the direct hit claim. I have on another podcast, they mentioned the fact that it almost looks like it doesn't hit the object. It's, it almost gets deflected by something. And that supports the claim of the white hot, that we're only seeing the white hot. We're not seeing if there's some kind of body around the white hot. We're
Mm.
purely just, it could be a square, it could be a rectangle, but all we're seeing is a tic tac white, not TikTok, tic tac white shape. So I don't even know. You could probably tell how big it is from it. It doesn't say how big it is, but let me see if I can get that news report back up while we're discussing it. According to Burleson, the video shows a high-speed object, presumably the missile hitting the orb. They've called it an orb on Newsweek, which then deforms, tumbles, and sheds smaller fragments, one barely visible. Like you said, it looks like debris. Republican Burleson said, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, why are we being blocked from this information? The MQ-9 drone tracked the object, captured the incident in real time, while a second drone, which we can't see instantly, reportedly fires the missile. Republican Eric Burleson shared the video on his own X account, which is pretty mad. The people, they're like governors and that, and Republican congressmen are actually sharing this stuff now.
Mm.
It's just mad, I think.
What one thing kind of from that is like Burleson saying like the question is why are we not being told or sort of giving information behind it. My
Mm,
my kind of thinking with that is why this is obviously it's quite recent. It was 12 months ago.
yeah,
It's essentially an active zone. They're obviously doing work there, whatever. They got military operations going on. I wouldn't expect to see what our militaries are actually doing. Like, sure, that
no,
is confidential. Whether it's UAP or anything, like, it's not really in the public interest to be showing these videos.
mm,
Like, one, it can show capabilities, it can show kind of what we're doing to the enemies. Um, so so in my head, I'm not sure how much of just normal military operations gets released, but why I wouldn't expect them to be showing
no.
videos, footage of active operations going on.
And I think that's also one way that they can hide it. Is they can just say is that it compromises special access programs or whatever. But it is interesting that it happened over this particular area outside the US. The fact there was two Reaper drones and somebody authorized that missile to be fired. Unless the drone operator just thought, I'm gonna have a fucking crack at this. Because you don't know, do you? Don't know. Because there's no sound, you can't hear what the operators are saying, the Reaper drone operators, because those pilots would be based in the US, probably, flying those drones remotely from the US. And it'd be interesting. And there is a small tie-in because the guy, Dylan Borland, who was a whistleblower and witness at the congressional hearings. He used to be one of the guys as part of the drone program for the US. And whilst he
Mhm.
didn't specifically pilot the drones or fire the missiles directly, he was one of the people that clarified who was in a particular building because they can put those missiles through a window
Yeah,
into a house and take out someone's table, basically. So he was one of those people and
yeah,
all the stuff that he says, and we can get onto him. He's quite an interesting character. It all goes, he went to Arrow and everything. So he would be a good person to listen to about drone stuff because he was involved in the drone program. Um, but it is interesting that it's interesting as well that the Mosul orb, if you believe it was an orb or whatever you think it might be, could be a puddle.
yeah, puddle.
That was also captured by a drone over a military campaign overseas. Mosul is
Iraq.
Iraq, yeah. So why are these objects over those kind of places?
That's the thing. Like, so these are kind of active, like war zone areas, the Middle East. But these rebels, you say, that operating out of Yemen. People say UFOs come to war zones to try and stop anything like catastrophic happening, things like that, or they're interested in technology, which is quite a cop out for me.
Mm,
When you think, sorry, the more likely explanation is this just some enemy weapon or craft or some, well, enemy, but whatever thing, rather than being non-human or whatever they're trying to imply
mm.
that these objects are. Like, it's over war zones, so you don't expect to be things that you're going to be attacking in the sky.
But if
So
that's the
it's
case, why are they not using those weapons?
might
Because
not be that good.
there doesn't,
Might not be that good.
it
Like,
might be shit. Tell
do
those
you
are
think like
fucking
places like
shit.
suppose like these rebels, the um who are the Iraq bad guys? I can't think what they're called.
Like ISIS and people like that.
ISIS, yeah, feeling like that Al Qaeda, ISIS.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the technology. So they might have some randomly made. Obviously, not saying not got some good technology,
Mm.
but they might have some random things they've made and developed that aren't massively technical. That we don't know what they are because they randomly made it, but and that's why they're blowing them up because like this is some weird ass bomb in the sky or whatever
Mm.
it could be. But yeah, because it's not like any technology that America would use. I don't know. It's just weird that it's these ones like the Mosul Orb. There's another one over Iran that got released, I think, earlier this year or last year. There's been another one in Iraq. This one, not too far from Iraq and Iran. These are all active war zones. It's just a bit, yeah, surely it's just going to be adversarial tech.
Yeah. It, the only bit I struggle with that, and it's probably a conversation for a round table because it would be good to get everybody back on for a proper chat. Dave on as well because I'm sure he'll have a few words to say on it. But I just think if it's adversarial tech, why they're not using it against us now? That's the bit I don't get. Seems to be no aggression shown from these objects at all that we're aware of.
I said
Obviously,
that I suppose would the military, even under whistleblower sort of people, would they want to show their defenses being compromised by
hmm,
that? So maybe they do in times, but we're never going to see that. Because
yeah,
then that would then show other people how to sort of penetrate the US defense if they have had
yeah,
successful attacks with these devices or
yeah,
these crafts.
yeah. It's mad. I just, and I
It's
think
proper. It's
that's
proper. It's proper American. Like
yeah,
we'll
it
show
is.
the video where we hit it and blow it out of the sky. We won't show the video where we get hit and blown out of the sky.
Yeah,
It's
true.
team America, isn't it? It's
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So we're only seeing the positives. It's
yeah.
like social media. Most people only ever show their positive life on social media, um, which I
Well,
get.
propaganda.
It is propaganda, it's personal propaganda, and US propaganda for definite. You wouldn't want to show that you're being shot down left, right, and centre. Yeah, so I don't know what to make of it. It's a good video. It's not the first video. The sort of they like the go fast is a bit like that as well, where they lock onto it over the sea, and it looks like it's going super quick, but it's not.
Mm.
But again, the parallax view. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this video in the coming months, and if people can get a better understanding of the actions or the rest of the clip, because we're only seeing a very small clip of what
I
essentially
think
was probably a long
yeah,
thing.
yeah, definitely. And you also think that they have a lot of other spy stuff going on in these places. So surely there's going to be normal camera footage of this whole situation happening, but we only see the can't really tell what it is flare video. It's not the amount of satellites and spy drones and all sorts they're going to have
Hmm.
over these areas. Surely there's more recognizable video that we'd see.
Yeah, you'd like to think
Like
so.
the orb one. The other I think that was that another Iraq one where you actually see it following the silver ball
Hmm.
down.
Yeah,
It's like more identifiable
yeah.
than the Fleur videos.
There is definitely good footage out there, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's like the Calvine photo. For years, people were saying like, well, um, what's his name? Nick
Pope.
Pope was saying that it's in this high quality picture on the wall of the ministry, where in his office and that, and then it come out, and that's if it is what it is, and that's a whole nother conversation. If it is what it is, and it is a
And not a
UFO,
and not a mountaintop.
and if it's not that, and it is if it if it is a photograph of what people believe it is. I'm not saying it is what it is, but the UFO being followed by a plane. And if it is that, that's an amazing picture. And surely that was what, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
That
1990 on it.
yeah, the technology should have we know technology is good. They can see you reading a newspaper from space and shit with satellites, so there's no excuse for bad footage. You can't film stuff on a potato and say you're a government agency. I can't see that works,
Yeah.
but that doesn't help anybody. Why would you want to put out good footage when bad footage gets people talking more? If you have a 4K video of a black triangle hovering over a military base, that ends the conversation, really.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so that was a little mini deep dive into a declassified video showing the US trying to shoot it down.
Yeah, yeah. No, like I say, interesting video. We'll
It is
see
an
what
interesting, yeah.
comes.
There seems to be more of those kind of videos coming out from various sources. That one has been released in partnership with the other podcasts and Jeremy Corbell. Um, but yeah, a good video nonetheless, and it'll be interesting to see what comes of it, especially with the congressional hearings that have taken place. There's more people coming forward, more whistleblowers with interesting accounts to put to Congress. So
Nice one.
nice one. So that's us for this week. A bit of a ramble at the start, so I do apologise, and a bit of an information dump from me. But then also, if you want to see this video, it is on our TikTok. I think it's on Facebook and Instagram as well. I'll get it up there if it's not. Check it out and see what you think. Be interested to know your thoughts. Yeah,
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see some of you at one of the upcoming conferences around the north of the UK. They all seem to be
I know.
happening. Chester, Hull, Blackpool, Darlington, Leeds. Yeah, they're all up north.
I know I was in Doncaster. I've
Another
never even
Yorkshire one.
heard of these places. I was in Doncaster on Sunday night for a scare maze, um, like preview night. So everything seems to be up north.
It's where the
Much to
best
my
things are.
much to my car mileage does not like it. I'm sure I'm gonna have to get new tires soon. I only put some on there less than a year ago. Okay, the amount of miles I put on my car at the moment is ridiculous.
I bet, I bet.
250 miles a weekend, just in the weekend. Fuck, it's a long way.
And Hull's gonna be a drive in it as well.
I will be stopping halfway, I suppose it is. So it's not. It could be worse. It could be worse. Doncaster was 2 hours from where I was, and it's 2.5 hours to Crewe. So it's like 4.5 hours. And then I came back on Sunday, and the M6 was closed between Junction 11 and Junction 10. It took me 4.25 hours to get home.
Jeez.
Fucking nightmare. I tell you what, public apology to Sarah now for that. Because I was quite shitty on the phone as I was speaking to her on the way back. So yeah. Deserved though. 4.5 fucking hours of shit traffic. So
Yeah,
anyway,
M6 can be shit sometimes.
and I wish I'd gone on the toll and paid the tenner. Not twice though.
Yeah, my sat nav's stupid.
Anyway, on that note,
Yep. Have
thanks all for
fun.
listening if you managed to get this far. And yeah, we might see your lost souls.
Yep. Have a
Yeah,
good weekend.
yeah, we'll do. Nice one. Speak soon, Ash.
See you later.
Bye.